Here's numbers 6 through 10 of the top 10 best things about Kansas City. Welcome to Fountain City, a YouTube channel seeking the prosperity of Kansas City. Let's get right into the content. Number 6 is cost of living. In my previous video, I talked about being from Los Angeles, and everyone knows how expensive it is to live there. One of the best things about Kansas City is that it is so much cheaper to live here than so many other places in the United States. The average home price in Los Angeles, according to Zillow, is $950,000. The average in New York is $780,000. See, in Kansas City, the average home price is $230,000. Now, these stats are being pulled from Zillow, and these are rough estimates. Not only is it cheap to buy a home here, but gas here is cheap. Right now, it's only averaging about $3 a gallon. In fact, Kansas City, Kansas has been ranked as one of the top 25 most affordable places to live in the United States. Now, I know that some people will say, well, KC-Mo or other areas of Kansas aren't on the list, but I can almost guarantee you that if you're moving from the east or the west coast, and even some parts of the southwest and Texas, you're gonna be surprised at what you find here. Comment below, how much is gas where you live? Do you live in an affordable area? Now, if you're thinking about moving here to Kansas City, or if you're looking to sell a home here, I work as a local realtor. I would love to help you relocate here from wherever you're from. Fountain City seeks to produce content about Kansas City for people who love Kansas City, and my job as a real estate agent gives me the time and the income that I need to make these videos. I especially love helping people relocate here, being a transplant myself. If you're selling a home in Kansas City or the surrounding areas, we'll have you on the Fountain City podcast, available anywhere where you listen to podcasts, to record an episode about your home. Then we will make sure that anyone interested in your house has the ability to listen to you talk about why you love your home as well. Now back to the video. The 7th best thing about Kansas City are the seasons. When I first moved here, one of the things that really scared me was the fact that I was going to be living in a place that had actual seasons for the first time. I never lived in a place with snowy winters. I never lived in a place where the leaves actually changed and fell in the fall. To me, 50 degrees was freezing. And the only time I ever saw snow was when I would purposely travel to see it. So I was afraid of how humid the summers would be. I was used to heat, but you may or may not know, but Los Angeles is actually a really dry heat. Now, coming here, I found that after living here a few years, is that I love the fact that there is a real winter, spring, summer, and fall. And even better than that, while the summers were humid, I was excited that they weren't too bad. Now, of course, the worst days can get into triple digits, and of course, those days are pretty miserable, but most summer days are not like that. And while I found that it was cold in the winters, there would still be days when the temperature would get up to 50 or 60 degrees. Last year, I played golf with my father-in-law here on Christmas Eve, and it got to 60 degrees that day. And the best part was that my body adapted very quickly, especially to the cold. Now, if it's 50 degrees or higher, I can go outside in a light pullover or sweatshirt, and if the sun is out, even short sleeves. And the best part about it is that spring and fall feel wonderful here. After a long cold winter, feeling the temperature rise and seeing the leaves come in is fantastic. And after a hot, humid summer, seeing the leaves change to their golden and yellow hues and grabbing a sweater for the first time gets me excited. Now, I know that there are going to be a lot of people watching this video saying, hey, there are plenty of places that experience all 4 seasons, but hear me out a little bit. I think that the deep south and the southwest don't get cold enough to have a true winter, and there are other places where it stays too cold to have a true summer. Kansas City has all 4, but remember, it's only one of the best things about Kansas City, which leads us to the 8th best thing, which is that opportunities abound. Now, this is tied into a whole bunch of other factors, mainly the low cost of living and the growing city, but Kansas City is one of the best places that you could be right now if you want to either start a business or find new opportunities for personal and financial growth. Kansas City is the largest city right in the heart of the United States. Because of this, Kansas City has a long history of railroads and trains coming through the city, making it super interconnected to the rest of the US. Also, there are many large corporations located right here in town. There are many opportunities to find satisfying, well-paying work here because of all the growth and the multiple corporations that are here. You should know that many companies are based out of Kansas City or have large headquarters here. That's not to mention projects like Facebook's new data center in the Northland called the Golden Plains Technology Park, or that the Kansas City International Airport is currently under construction as of late 2022 and will be done in 2023. If you're a hard worker looking for opportunity, Kansas City is one of the best places in the United States to live. Now, after all that hard work, you're going to want to have some fun. So that leads us to the 9th best thing about Kansas City, and that is the recreational choices. Before I moved to Kansas City from Los Angeles, one of my best friends pulled me aside and said, hey, if you're going to live out in the middle of nowhere, make sure to go into the big city once in a while. He thought we were going to be living out on 10 acres in a farm somewhere, not in the middle of a growing and thriving city. In fact, as of 2020, there are over 2 million people in the greater KC metro area. In a city this size, there are a plethora of things to do. You have recreational choices for everyone. One of my favorite things to do in Kansas City is to explore the many parks available to us. We live just minutes from the Nelson Atkins lawn, where you can see those iconic Kansas City shuttlecocks. And then a few minutes from there, you have Luce Park, which has one of the most beautiful rose gardens in Kansas City. If you want to go a little bit farther, we love the Overland Park Arboretum. We also love taking our children to Science City and Union Station, and we adore the Kansas City Zoo. If you want to do something on the Kansas side, visit the Legends outlets, where you can shop all you want. In previous years, we've also had memberships at Sea Life Kansas City, an aquarium that's right in the heart of the city. Now, I can't know this for sure. I don't necessarily think this is something I can look up, but Sea Life Kansas City, based on its geographical location, has to be one of the farthest aquariums away from an ocean. And for being so far from an ocean, it's an amazing aquarium. All this to say, it is a blast living in Kansas City. In fact, if you go to my previous video, linked here, my number 5 best thing about Kansas City is that it is easy to get around. All of these things are easily accessible. And that leads me to my number 10 best thing about Kansas City, and that has to be the food. Kansas City has incredible places to eat. If you're a food lover, and who isn't, Kansas City is a great place because of the diversity of the food choices. It doesn't matter what kind of food you like, Kansas City has it. Kansas City, Kansas is known for amazing and authentic Mexican food. If you're in the mood, you can find Chinese food all over the city, especially in Johnson County. However, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the barbecue. Of course, Kansas City is known for barbecue. Now, according to a recent survey, Kansas City was only beaten by St. Louis, Missouri as the home of the best barbecue in the United States. Now, I think that's kind of in dispute because how do you really rate barbecue? But if you'll notice that on that list is Kansas City, Kansas, and Overland Park, Kansas, which are all part of the KC metro area. That means that we have 3 of the top 10 cities in the United States for barbecue. And if you're visiting, make sure you don't miss out on having some great barbecue. My personal favorites are 2 places. For my money, I think the best meats in town are at Q39. When I go there, I order the judge's plate, where I can eat up to 3 different kinds of meat. Now, if I want something that's more kind of a fast food vibe or fast food feel, I'm gonna go to Kansas City Joe's. Make sure to go to the original one in the gas station. I would recommend the Rocket Pig, and make sure that you get some fries while you're at it. If you do get fries though, make sure to grab some water or a drink because they are super salty, although they are super, super good. That sums it up for the 10 best things about Kansas City. What about you? Do you agree? Did I miss something? Leave a comment below. What is your favorite thing about Kansas City?